Welcome back to Cape Critiquers, everybody. Today is Easter, and it makes sense that we're talking about Daredevil, the most Catholic hero I can think of.
That's true, too.
Of course.
Yeah. So happy Easter, happy Daredevil finale talk day. Straight to Hell, episode 9.
Yeah.
All right. So, what did you guys think about this as a wrap-up to season 1?
I liked it. It was very brutal in spots, but it was good. It just moved along.
Yeah, I liked it. I've been saying to a couple of you guys, I think I liked episode 8 better. But this is definitely a good setup for tonight.
I'm wondering why Karen came back, and if there's more to it going into next season.
Yeah, I mean, she's been on the set for season 2.
Yeah.
I think she and Matt are kind of just pseudo together again.
Maybe.
Wow.
I have my other feelings about Karen.
What are your feelings about Karen?
She showed up out of fucking nowhere.
Well,
True. I mean, she did call upon Frank to
Which
protect
I
Matt.
get that, but how the fuck do you know where they're going to be exactly?
well, that was
Yeah.
my thing. How did she know his new apartment after a year? Did they think they exchanged things over time? She knew exactly where to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know if he just still had that apartment or if he had the one from the original show.
Personally, I think they're lovers. The
Oh,
way
yeah.
Castle was looking at her.
There is like a good love triangle going on between.
You
I
think that Frank and her are lovers?
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, Matt.
See,
even
I had that
says-
feeling too watching that you say it. I didn't say much, but they just had like
There's a
that thing
feeling.
between them over the
Yeah.
coffee.
It's beyond
Yeah.
feeling. I
Yeah.
think Matt's like, I could hear your guys' heartbeats.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know if like Frank ever fucking dates anyone else ever in the comics.
Not in the comics that I know of, but like in the Defenders.
Yeah.
That would be a
shows,
great
he
twist, though.
Clearly has
Plus-
feelings for Karen.
plus, let's be real here. Frank wouldn't just do a favor for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
There's something else.
he's
in
always
there.
had something special for her.
The
of course,
Punisher
of course.
stuff, the like Punishers,
Mm-hmm.
I think you could wrangle him into that pretty easily.
Yeah.
I will say, maybe the most comic accurate Punisher has ever been on the
Yes.
big screen.
I agree.
I thought he was just so like perfectly like Frank Castle, not like just kind of quippy at times,
Yeah.
but like he's not like Spider-Man quippy, but he just some of the shit that he was saying was like, oh, that's right from the comic.
I enjoyed this episode. I totally agree with you that I think episode 8, for whatever reason, was a little more intense and it felt like the writing was a little bit better. I have problems with this episode. I really,
Let's hear it.
I think that they're leading us into the second season is great,
Yeah.
the way the show ended. But I have I know we're watching Daredevil. It's not a reality thing.
Yeah.
But guy that just got shot actually literally just walked from the hospital back to his apartment.
Pass out.
in a gown.
In a gown.
Yeah.
Me and
Wow.
AJ have just been fucking
Passed
laughing
out.
at how he looks, just
Yeah,
like a fucking
I-
crazy person.
You know, but to me, to be able to suit up and kick everybody's ass
Yeah.
in that shorter time frame, and the fight scene was awesome. I
Yeah.
thought the fight scene in the apartment was
It definitely
freaking awesome.
scratched my fan brain. Technically, I don't know where I would put it amongst Daredevil fight scenes, but
Right.
it definitely scratched my like fan brain.
Yeah,
I feel like I was just more so focusing on Punisher there, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Frank Castle. Frank Castle is like saying like he's not like a reacher. If you ever watch the show, he's not
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, no.
He's not necessarily intimidating, but he is just unbelievable when it comes to the amount of pain he could take and his drive to get something done.
And that was my favorite scene when he was in that chair and he's like, "You think you know my pain?" I fucking loved it. I'm like,
Well, that was one of my other problems. Was truthfully, I don't think Frank Castle, the Punisher, would have been that unprepared going to
Yep.
where he was going
Fair.
to be captured like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
but I was thinking about that because I know you mentioned like, why would he just be captured? I think he's had a plan all along. If you noticed, even with the ending credit scene, I think he wanted to be captured so he can fucking
Just
infiltrate
get to
from
Kingpin.
Yeah,
Possibly.
be right there.
But that hurts me even more. Why wouldn't they kill him?
Well, they have so much respect.
They have
for
so much
him.
respect. They wouldn't.
There
that's
was
what
a
I
lot
told
of
you,
respect
too.
there, but you could have a lot of you could martyr the man.
Yeah, I mean,
you
he
know.
did say you killed an awful lot of my
Yeah,
friends.
I hope this
My
is
guys.
worth it. But
Yeah.
then they asked him to switch sides, whatever, join them, and Frank would never. But I'm saying to myself, he's a fucking dead man.
Bunch of fucking clowns.
Yeah. So interesting comments out of John Bernthal. Just recently got interviewed about the upcoming Punisher special, and he was like, "Yeah, there's some great guys that have worn that symbol." And it's like, did you fucking watch the show? Were you conscious during
During the
filming?
filming process?
Yeah, I don't know. He's always been very pro police, very pro soldiers and everything. But like, what is the Punisher special gonna be if not Frank Castle fucking murdering waves of cops?
Is it?
Yeah.
But is it possible there might be other versions of? He meant the other versions of the Punisher.
Of the Punisher itself.
No, he.
You
was
know, we're in a
talking-
multiverse
yeah.
now. Come on, guy.
Yeah.
He was talking about just police that
Oh, yeah?
wear the symbol,
Yeah.
in real life, which is like, I don't know.
I was hoping
Wait.
Dolph Lundgren would show up in the
I
special.
like John Bernthal a lot.
Yeah.
But if you guys, I don't know if you've seen this. There's like a meme going around that he has a problem with naps,
I've seen that, yeah.
which is hilarious. He's like, if you're taking naps, you're weak.
Yeah, I've seen that. So yeah, I don't know. Just some choice comments out of him
Yeah.
regarding the special. I just think he's wrong also
Yeah.
when saying, like, I just don't think it's
It's just nuance. Like,
yeah, like that.
I'm
that's
sure
probably-
there are,
yeah.
but there's
Yeah.
also fucking bad people that use that
Yeah.
symbol. Like, it's
I'm also saying I don't think what he's saying is even lining up with what the special's going to
What
be.
the- right.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I'd be kind of shocked if they, after all this, did a thing where it's like, actually, some of you guys are kind of good.
Did he like actually watch what he was like that whole thing with him?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
it's kind of odd. I don't know. It just seemed like contradictory, very
yeah,
contradictory.
It was very strange with the task, like the ending credit where you see everybody like just sitting there, like doing whatever.
Mhm.
If you noticed, one of the task force people, or I think it was like another guy or a man, when he was looking at the phone of Fisk talking, he looked like he was also questioning, like, what am I doing right now?
Well, there was the one guy, and I think they show him during that ending monologue thing,
Yeah.
where it's like, geez, he's just a kid, man.
Yeah.
I think it was that guy
That was the
said
dude.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I mean, we know that this cop's against Fisk
Fisk,
because they're
That was a
a
fucked
part
up
of
scene.
Daredevil's army.
That was,
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
fucking 3 of them.
Yeah,
that was just a really dark scene. Like, oh, he's just a kid.
yeah.
He's a
He's a
vigilante.
vigilante
I was
now.
like, damn.
That's like the type of lying that I wanted from Fisk.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but like I
Yep.
don't- something with that scene was just like weird to me.
It felt a little
felt
bit
like
shoehorned in.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to make a point or something.
Yeah.
I didn't really find Matt like escaping from the injection guy like
Yeah.
very fun. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't challenging at all.
Yeah.
He just pretended to look like a crazy person.
I'm confused with that too because obviously, what's his name? His cohort.
Buck.
Buck.
Yeah.
Buck.
Not Wesley.
Obviously, Buck knows he's Daredevil.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely knows.
Yeah.
Why would you just be Buck with a needle?
Yeah.
You're not approaching.
Yeah.
Which was actually my favorite.
I mean, he's
line.
armed and ready to go at all times.
I
I
thought
know,
that was gonna
but
be a
it's-
bomb, by the way.
I did too.
Yeah, right. When
Yeah.
he's carrying it.
That's
in
what
the
we
mail.
thought. We thought it was a bomb also.
It would almost make more sense
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
But my favorite line from the show
Mhm.
was, I think Karen said it to Matt. He goes, Fisk went after Matt Murdock,
Yeah.
not Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
And we had been saying how easy would it be for Fisk to just ruin fucking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt. And that's actually, he went in to kill Matt Murdock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even says like, what if our lawyer friends to come to his wound?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So the apartment blows up.
yeah.
Somehow they're all the way across the alley. They land on that car.
Yeah.
So-
Jack was like, oh,
I mean, that was far away.
Like I understand that like
Yeah.
they had the
grappling hook.
the grappling
Yeah.
hook thing.
but also just like the way it mixed with like how fucking hard
Hard they
it
hit
hit.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
But
I don't
now
know.
my other thing is, this is obviously an apartment that's documented to
Matt
Matt.
Murdock. Yeah.
Boom. All of his stuff that's in his little lair is blown all over the place.
So there's something that came out, a
Mhm.
leak from season 2, a picture of a sign that says, "Have you seen this man missing Matt Murdock?"
So apparently,
Matt
either-
Murdock is
either
MIA
dead
now.
or missing.
MIA.
Yeah.
But what about all of those other costumes he had in that apartment?
Yeah, I mean, you
That's what I
think
mean.
about it.
But they didn't get blown to smithereens. There's got to be helmets around and stuff like that that can be seen.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I
mean,
There's,
someone to
there's
think
gonna
about,
be,
I
there's
guess.
like a
Yeah.
certain point where it's like you just have to suspend your
Yeah.
disbelief and not be so
And I'm
analytical
still-
about everything. I think.
I know, and that's exactly what I'm trying not to do. But
Yeah.
sometimes
it's-
they
it's
make
hard-
it.
Yeah, but it's like
yeah.
there's like a Grant Morrison quote where it's like it doesn't fucking matter how Batman's tires get pumped up. You know,
Right.
they just always are.
Mhm.
And-
Unless you're George R.R. Martin, but
yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing to me though is just like it's gonna be so hard to suspend my disbelief with like the mayor of New York enacting a police state and martial law,
Mhm.
because like we know that the president in this universe isn't like
Fisted
insane or
Witsy.
anything.
Yeah.
Even not even that. The governor.
Yeah.
The state capital's got to be like, what the fuck's going on
Yeah.
down there? Let's
Yeah.
send people down to see what it is. Yeah,
Not only that, but it's like such a fucking shame that Sony is like pieces of shit, and it's like, where is Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
well, you
even
would
beyond
assume.
that, it's like, where is Hawkeye? Where are the Defenders?
Doctor Strange.
By the way-
a lot of people that live in
Where's
Manhattan.
Adam
Something
Web,
I
for
saw
God's
with the
sakes?
rights there is like apparently it's only Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk that can appear.
But I'm saying even like
I know.
You
I'm
can't
just
even
saying.
have a couple task force guys webbed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just showing it like that.
without ever
exactly.
actually
Yeah.
showing him. Just
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
It's we have to build an army, and it's fucking Cherry and like 2 cops I've never seen before.
I mean, I'd even accept a little Miss Marvel help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
She's
you can
only
mention Miss Marvel all you want until
Yeah.
they have a fucking dinner.
until she comes
hosting me.
across the river there. Exactly.
Another thing with Kingpin is like I'm just realizing now that like he ran this whole campaign on like anti-vigilante,
Mm-hmm.
but like why would New York ever be anti-vigilante when
Yeah.
like the Battle of
Yeah.
New York?
I absolutely.
I also said
Yeah.
to Jack, like, was it ever shown once that anyone in New York actually was anti-vigilante?
No.
We saw
No,
it
we
like
haven't seen it.
it was like pretty much 50-50 in the BB report, which like kind of
Was
just like
it?
takes away all meaning from it.
I mean, you said that to me, but like, was it actually? 'Cause
I'm
not-
pretty
You
sure.
had that one guy who definitely said, "I'm packing heat. We don't need them. Yeah,
But
we should just pack
I feel like
heat."
majority of people though, like, we fucking miss Daredevil.
I feel like it's half and half from what I
Maybe.
remember.
Even then though, like, it's not very concrete that
Yeah.
anyone actually, would support that to the point where he would win the campaign.
Yeah.
Especially as a shoe-in guy that came in last minute, and that's his whole fucking.
And like I
campaign.
said, with the Battle of New York and like even Endgame fucking happened like not even 5 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Like we never saw any of this stuff like be reframed to be bad. Like even Civil War had the whole thing where it's like as heroes increase, villains increase too.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think the Netflix show even does a better job of like including that type of stuff, and all they do is they're just like the Chitauri. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned now we have gods.
They mention it
you
100
know.
times, but it's like it's somehow more impactful to just like
Right.
acknowledge that it's
Right.
happening than it is to
Big green guys.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess try to implement it the way that
Scrolls.
they've been implementing it. Yeah, like could be a scroll? Like no, man, it can't.
Yeah. I saw something where like it can't have even been a scroll because he got caught immediately after stealing it. Like he wasn't even like it wasn't a chase. He was like right outside the store.
yeah.
So
I'm still, like I said, I thought it was a good way to end the series, like on a cliffhanger, moving us forward into next season. Still got a lot of possibilities, a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I still wasn't a fan of the Fisk zoo. Why do you have all these people in cages?
Yeah.
Obviously, the swordsmen, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
But
like
to
to me, there's no
Jack,
fucking point to
the
that.
other people were the council that Gandolfini was talking to. I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
But again, there's no
point.
If you're really at that level where Fisk is, I'm in total fucking control. These people are just useless.
Yeah, but to
useless.
me,
They're
that was
baggage.
straight out of comic book, though. It's just that was such
yeah,
a comic book
I
scene.
understand
to me.
that.
It makes sense when like the swordsman and the Punisher are there,
But-
Mhm.
like the council people, it's like
Yeah.
they're just easily strong armed.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were strong armed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean-
he could have just come up with stuff and put them in regular jail.
Could have just killed them and no
Or
one would
that
ever
too.
fucking know the
That
difference.
as well.
It's like that's like shit
Or-
that he did.
Or leave them
In
out
season
and
one of the
just
Netflix show.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Just the
fucking did
threat
it to
of-
the leader of the police. Fucking
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
washed his head.
yeah, like
Holy
nobody's
fuck.
gonna miss him. Oh, but the
He
commissioner-
resigned, yeah.
he
Resigned.
resigned.
Where the fuck is he?
No one's gonna question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he resigned and beat.
But
him.
like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna go down that route, why not just do it with everybody?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Just get him out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It
They're,
doesn't make sense that swordsman and
But
yeah.
I think they're building it up because I do have a prediction that the Swordsman and Punisher are going to be a bit of buddy-buddy
I haven't.
situation.
Well, he's just
Maybe?
he's going to be part of that whole force thing.
yeah.
At least the swordsman.
Yeah. I have,
Frank's always a loner, though he'll help.
I
But
have
he's
no
pretty
idea
much a loner.
where the Punisher thing's gonna pick up from.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a weird. They left it off at a strange spot.
My theory was
Go
the
ahead.
plot of that was just gonna be, or like they were writing too much Punisher into this show, and they were like, oh, let's just make this a special. So
Mhm.
that's
Kinda
like,
what they did
Yeah,
with
yeah.
season 2 of Daredevil.
so
a
that's
little bit.
Yeah.
kind of just why it feels like a little bit lacking in this episode for me, like that
Mhm.
whole conversation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just wonder in season 2 of Daredevil, they didn't think that Frank Castle was going to be such a big presence on screen. He just took off. Which
Yeah,
is
I
just
mean,
amazing.
at times it does feel like they're
Yeah.
just trying to promote the show, like the Punisher show.
Oh, now they are.
I'm
Even
saying
then, you
during
think?
season 2 of Daredevil, some of his stuff just feels like
I mean,
Was that even out yet?
no, but
No.
they're writing it
Yeah.
during that time.
But I mean, that guy, he just took the character and really made it his own. It's
Oh.
just amazing.
Yeah, it is interesting that
Incredible.
he's writing or co-writing the
Yeah.
Punisher special.
I'm also wondering where Bullseye's going to fit in.
Yeah,
He's
So,
still out and about.
Seems like they're building him up to be some kind of anti-hero,
that's what it seems like.
which I don't love because, like in the comics,
He's
even when
just
he's
a
a part of the
badass.
Thunderbolts,
He's a
Yeah,
piece
he's
of
just
shit.
not a
badass.
fucking good person.
Right.
He's like beyond a badass. He's just actually a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
just kills everyone that Matt loves and fucking hates him.
I would have liked one scene would have been a little bit better for me when Daredevil and Karen went to Red Hook. If he would have been able to hear, sense, smell Frank Castle being
mean,
in prison.
They knew that he was there.
I don't
captured.
think they did. I think he just went back to see what
Yeah,
he just said. Let's go see what Kingpin's got going on over there. And he seen that there was a whole
Did they not know that he was there?
no,
they did.
They
But
he
Didn't
never
they say it was
mentioned
going
it?
to be like a suicide mission to go get him?
no.
just him
She
going
said-
in alone
right,
would be
would have been a
suicide.
suicide
Just
mission.
going in.
But what was he
would be a
going
su-
in for?
They never mentioned
He was going in to
see what was
see what's
going
going on in there.
Yeah,
But my whole thing is that whole scene with
Thinking
them.
that Fisk, thinking that Fisk was in there as well.
right.
Yeah, who he was at one point.
That whole scene with them driving and getting there and him just laying on a rock and looking was useless to me. What the fuck
Yeah,
is that
I-
point?
It was pretty
If he
slow.
can't do anything
Yeah.
at that moment.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think also one of my favorite scenes does come right after that, but it's like the build up to that ending monologue just feels so like tires screeching on the asphalt brakes. Just
Yep.
because it's like you're setting everything up, and it's like here's everything that you guys want. You can't do it, man.
Right. Right.
Yep.
You can't go in there.
I was-
You die.
Really confused on like the whole Red Hook like archive shit
Yeah.
because like it's almost implied that the only place this document is the like archives of Foggy
archives,
and
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a free port.
Yeah.
Also, just like why is it so important that right now is the moment it has to get out?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I feel like it's just as illegal to
Yeah.
expose it after.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's a little weird, but like I said, maybe I'm just nitpicking.
I did like the outro. That actually felt like the intro of the Batman to me when he's like, it's October 31st, the streets or whatever. I do have the entire little thing here. I can't see my city, but I can feel it. The system isn't working. It's rotten, corrupt, but this is our city, not his. And we could take it back together. The weak, the strong, all of us. Resist, rebel, rebuild, because we are in the city without fear.
Somebody's got to say
I thought
this
that was
elsewhere.
like great Daredevil writing,
Yeah.
and then it's just like set to some of the fucking saddest,
Yeah.
like weakest visuals.
Well, what
who's
you
he
said-
saying that to though?
What you said before,
In
I would have
general.
actually like if
Maybe it's
when he
an inner
walked into the
monologue.
bar, if
Yeah.
Jessica Jones was
Yeah,
actually,
exactly,
sit-
sitting
it's
at the
that would
bar.
have made me
Exactly.
feel a little better.
I just fucking wish the Defenders were there. I wish
I
Spider-Man was
know.
Yeah.
shown.
No.
Even if they're not like recruited to the team yet, just show me what's going on with
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but just having just some of them there as you went through the bar, and just
Yeah, I mean,
who's
he's
there?
not the
It-
only
it
masked
matters.
vigilante, and
It matters so much less if the whole vigilante task force thing is kind of like, oh, Daredevil and like maybe Bullseye are kind of fucked over.
yeah,
Like it makes New York really small.
extremely.
Again,
Extreme.
You have like 100 heroes here.
And
But-
there's only one that's mentioned.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Again, I'm on the same page as you with Spider-Man. What the fuck, Sony?
yeah.
Where
Well,
is like literally where is he?
I mean,
Give-
they had
at least
they
give me
actually
something.
mentioned him,
Yes,
Yeah.
they definitely mentioned.
so
I'm not saying he has to intervene into every single New York-based project, but like
Yeah.
something like this is like seems like something that would heavily affect him.
absolutely.
Fisk becoming mayor of New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be a huge fucking thing for Spider-Man.
I mean,
it should
he
be a huge
declared
thing for Hawkeye, for Kate Bishop, for
Half the heroes in New York City.
all
does
of
his
them.
martial law
Not even.
cover the borows?
Anything in New York City,
gotta
I
be.
guess.
Yeah,
Which
it's
should
like
be.
It's the borough.
Yeah.
Technically, he's the mayor
So
of
Queens,
you know.
Bronx, yeah.
So, Spider-Man lives in Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
hear him mention
I
it.
think it's you can make the pass for Spider-Man just because they don't have the rights, but it's kind of egregious that none of the Defenders are
Yeah.
even shown on the team yet or not. I don't know.
And this is where I genuinely do feel bad for Daredevil because he genuinely is alone.
Yeah.
My army.
Yeah, I gotta build my army.
What fucking army?
Detective Kim and Cherry and fucking Karen. Well, Karen, she's got the gun in her purse, so maybe she'll take down the task force.
Just unreal.
And just Detective Kim, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I don't know what it is.
She's just a non-character.
Nothing side character.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching the Netflix Daredevil. I infinitely care so much more about the side characters in that show and like their problems than any of the side characters in Born Again. I care so much more about Ben Urich's wife that's in the hospital that can't get like insurance funding than I do about fucking Cherry doing.
We're not
whatever
sure.
Cherry's doing. Yeah.
And we don't really have a full backstory on Sherry. I mean, we know
Because
some
he's
stuff,
just
but-
supposed to be Agent Mahoney.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll like give heroin to people or something.
Yeah, maybe we'll give like heroin to like witnesses.
He
that
gave like a whole
flip.
fucking brick to that guy, didn't he?
I thought it was a
care.
little thing, and I didn't think it was that much. A
Hey,
brick.
guess what?
Maybe
Doesn't
just-
fucking matter.
Yeah. What do you think of Heather? Maybe she'll be better as a villain.
Yeah, well, she's
already
definitely.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, like now she's actually going to
Yeah.
be on Kingpin's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
And it's,
good, like arc wrapping up because we even said like, oh, she's aligned with Kingpin even in color.
Yeah.
You know.
But there's going to be something with Matt having to make the decision of either she's going down, like he's going to have to take her down, or he's not going to do it, and he's going to have her either arrested or beat the shit out of her or something like
or
that.
sick Muse on him.
I don't know. She could shoot pretty fucking good.
She can
That's
shoot
all.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I
though.
just had a vision
there's
of Matt
good- yeah.
fucking belting his ex-girlfriend with like, metal.
I
Bullet-
think
but
it's gonna
Karen
have-
will take her ass out.
Or Karen's going to have to do it,
Yeah.
one or the other. But
I hope. She's
but
gotta go.
Matt's going to have to make that decision. But there was definitely tensions between
yeah.
them
I
for the
do
last
think
couple of
that's
episode.
good Kingpin writing to take Matt
Yeah.
Murdock's
Oh,
girlfriend
it's definitely.
and
But-
sign her to
What is that? Commissioner of
Commissioner of
Medical
Mental Health.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mental
mental
So like
health,
compare
yeah.
that to how like Bullseye was completely just ruined by fucking Kingpin.
Yeah.
Like it was just such a amazing process that we actually saw.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Heather one is it's just almost another one of those things where it's like, oh, this is just happening to progress this thing in this
Yeah.
episode.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of Bullseye though,
Where the
I
fuck did
hope
he go?
we see like his arc is like he gets his own agency, but it's not for good. And like he realizes that like he can just fucking do whatever he wants, kinda.
Mhm.
To your point, I think it would be really fun to see him and Matt team up, and then he just kind of realizes, like you said, like he just doesn't want to be a hero.
Yeah.
Well, he is a psychopath.
And
Oh, yeah.
he's just supposed to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
a fucking psychopath.
Oh, I just remembered another thing that bothered me. Why would Bullseye need a scope?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, he wouldn't, but
Even an iron sight. I mean,
Yeah.
even an iron sight would have been fine.
he
for
wouldn't
him.
even need that, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. But yeah, I don't mind it.
Because they
yeah.
showed him looking through the scope, like,
Yeah.
you know, picking his target. And I'm like, but this guy can hit any fucking thing he wants.
I think
Yeah.
it was for the
He
cinematic.
could close his
On a
eyes, throw it
rebound, he could,
backwards, and
you
fucking
know.
hit it off the wall if he wanted.
I think it was for the cinematic of
Yeah.
just putting the
And he's
scope.
the closest thing we actually have to anyone except for Matt that has a superpower in the whole show. Everyone
Basically,
else
yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, Kingpin's just big guy, big
Yeah.
strong guy, but there's nothing extra special.
But not to get too technical with it. How does Bullseye's powers work? Does he just
In the
calculate
comics,
where
like,
he can throw something?
Just has like incredible skill, but then at some point, like he gets to adamantium, like his bones become laced in adamantium, and then I think at some point he gets like almost superhuman vision, kinda.
Okay.
Is that correct?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know that much about him. I want to say he gets like almost superhuman levels of like vision at some point.
I mean, stuff like throwing a paperclip into a wall. Like, I don't think you can do that just
Yeah,
in real
well,
life.
Yeah.
But I wonder when he does throw stuff or shit like that, if he calculates where he should throw something at a right angle to actually hit his target.
Yeah.
I don't know, not to get too technical. I just,
no,
yeah.
I know.
It's
But
making me curious.
you know who has very similar powers?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay,
That
so
is true.
I had a
Shit.
tweet blow up recently because someone was like, "Who would win, Hawkeye or Bullseye?" And I said, "Bullseye would fucking kill Clint Barton in 5 seconds," and people are not happy about that.
Well, they're probably not, but yeah, Clint needs the arrow, and he has to set up and do that. He'd already be down and dead.
That's my point.
I don't think
Clint
Clint
is-
can, like, ricochet.
Yeah, he's also Clint
With,
is
with an
underrated.
arrow, he could.
Yeah, we've seen him do it with the arrows.
People are like,
Wow.
Clint has like trick arrows and shit, and then he like is a part of the Avengers. He fights like all these big threats.
That's great and all, but without the
Bullseye guy.
without the fucking bow, what is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd have a
If you're
freaking
nothing with a
paper clip
bow.
through his
Well,
eye
he did
into
throw
his
a
brain.
like fucking
Jarvis.
can things, like hand
Jarvis, pull up
pads
the bow.
in Hawkeye.
But
That's true.
but the ability to hit whatever he wants to hit,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just with an arrow,
Yeah.
is that type of level of
Yeah.
My point is
Bullseyes.
that he's Bullseye but limited
Yeah.
to an arrow.
to an arrow.
I'll
And
top that
he's
question.
also he has great skill with the
I
sword.
will top that question. Ronan versus Bullseye.
Ronan has to get up close with the sword.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Yeah.
By the
Which
way,
he will not be able
Bullseye does like pretend to be Hawkeye in Dark Avengers.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
to. Oh shit.
Wow.
And he kills a bitch with a pen.
I can see his skill level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Avengers is good shit if you've never read it.
I actually have, and it's amazing.
Fucking favorite part of that is like Wolverine, just like
What's Dakin, right?
yeah, Wolverine's son Dakin, just like pretending to be gay to like fuck with. It was Matt Gargan,
Yeah.
Scorpion,
Yeah. It's just
who
also
at that
funny
time was Spider-Man.
that like he's Venom, but like he appears as like the black suit Spider-Man. It's just like, oh, I guess you got that back again.
yeah,
You know, like the society, hey, you're back in the black suit.
yeah,
Is Iron Patriot, right?
yeah.
That would make a good movie.
Yeah, I fucking hope they make a Thunderbolts 2 and they put
Mhm.
Bullseye on the team. That'd be fun.
He'd be an interesting.
He's not much different the way that they're writing him right now. He's
Mhm.
kind of just like an anti-hero. So.
We finally figured out who killed Ayala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
wow.
I mean, honestly, like
Cole?
it
Cole.
it never really
He was
mattered
the-
to
he
me,
was the
to
Army
be
vet.
honest.
I was just curious. It was
Yeah.
just that more
There was the black
curiosity.
guy,
than-
right?
Yes.
Yeah, he
You're
was
right.
the Army
Blue eyes.
veteran.
That scene was again. That was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, for
also-
Daredevil to jump in front of Punisher not
Yeah,
to kill him,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
then Punisher
Yeah.
turns around and pops the guy.
But
laying
then
on the
also,
floor.
Yeah,
like,
the guy groans on the floor and he
Matt's
shoots him.
fucking apartment blew up and that guy died.
and he died. Yeah,
So
right.
what the fuck
Yeah.
was the point
I'm just fucking
Grenade!
thinking of how like big that dent was
in that
Like,
car?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There was
wait.
somebody in the car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was from.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they crushed the roof there.
Yep.
Like you would fucking actually have a heart attack if
Yeah.
that happened to you.
It's just like funny to me, like how far they went. Yeah.
Yeah. I laughed actually because Punisher jumped first.
Yeah,
And I'm like, where the fuck does he think he's
Yeah.
going? You know, I kind of figured Daredevil would use the, but I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Punisher just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, perfect.
There was a few
You know, you
times I
talk
laughed
about
this
the
episode.
ability to hit targets and this and that. That guy always lands on his feet though, like a cat. It's amazing.
I just laughed when we saw the cages and just like something about just seeing Tony Dalton there.
Yeah,
It's funny.
but that was
That's,
straight out of comic books. That whole scene with the perfectly placed cages. You know, the whole
Yeah,
bit.
I will say this: I thought Punisher looked great too in the trench coat.
Mhm.
He looked
Oh
awesome.
yeah, in the trench coat, no doubt.
I just loved how fucking brutal he was when that apartment scene.
I agree. Yeah.
Just-
like I said, perfectly scratched my
Yeah.
fan brain if I don't think about it too much.
He was even perfect in that last scene when he charmed the guy to come over and
broke
this
his
and
arm.
that. And
I
I was like, this is
it's
not going to
it's
end
accurate
well.
to
Yeah.
like
It is
Punisher
accurate. It
comics,
is.
but I don't know.
It
Something
is.
about that scene was just.
I don't
like,
know. I dug it. I thought it was
I'm
pretty
on
good.
the same level with that.
A little
it was
cheesy,
it was an
but-
awesome scene, but
Yeah.
it was a little cheesy.
Yeah,
I
I'll
liked
give
it.
it to him.
Like, come
And
on.
the entire episode was within a 12-hour period, 24-hour period.
Were you
yeah.
even saying like all of season 2 has to take place in like a week to make sense?
Well,
Yeah.
that was like why I said that because like of the who is not stopping Kingpin here.
Yeah.
Because like if they're setting it up to only be Daredevil, like
Right.
yeah, it's got to be a week.
It's
It's gotta
also
be
like
in a short
kind of a thing where it's like if Luke Cage and Spider-Man even fucking team up for half a minute, the
Mhm.
task force is done.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Now
armor
that
piercing
Frank-
rounds. I wouldn't be surprised if Kingpin got them.
Yeah.
But now that Frank is on the streets again, that task force is in
Well,
trouble
we're gonna
too.
see, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like. I don't know what is gonna happen with all that.
So they're and getting back to supposed to be March of next year is
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
I think February.
They're talking February. They also say it may be possible it's going to be running together with overlap as well. So they could say the end of Feb, early March or something.
Probably late
you know,
February.
and they're talking
into-
about there could be overlap with both of the special and the.
I wouldn't be
thing.
surprised.
Yeah,
So
I wouldn't be
surprised
shocked if it's
either.
like February
You know?
28th next
Yeah,
week.
I mean,
is
it would be
Daredevil
pretty
type of
cool.
thing.
Like you have 2 hours of television there with the Frank Castle, and then bleeding over into
Usually, what
Yeah.
they do is like, oh, you mean like bleed over like story wise?
Yeah.
No, I think he meant
Story
like
and-
one night you get
yeah.
to watch Punisher
yeah.
special.
But
I
I,
mean,
think there's
usually
going to be bleed over.
They
too.
do it like when they're dropping a movie. It'll be like the finale episode of the show, or first episode of the show, something like that. So
Yeah.
like second to last.
Okay.
I do have a question. Do you think after those guards beat the living shit out of Castle, do you think they took his vest and one of them is going to be wearing it?
I mean, they all kind of had Punisher vests already.
Fair, but I don't know. For some reason, to them, I think wearing his vest,
I
one of
think
them would
maybe,
feel like a.
Maybe
I
Powell.
think hanging it. Like,
That's what I think.
yeah,
I think
maybe
Powell is going to fucking wear it.
Yeah, well, then Powell's going to get killed in it.
In a brutal manner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope.
Didn't you think it was weird that there was only one guard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the weird part.
But
there.
I mean, that's just been a problem fucking throughout
Why-
the show, I feel like.
Yeah.
Not that it was. It
No
was just-
cameras, one guard.
yeah, not that it was just cheesy too. It was how fucking
Yeah.
not retarded, stupid that fucking guard was.
Yeah.
What's your name? Anthony.
Yeah.
Anthony Pescarelli or whatever. the fuck.
What?
Yeah.
In real life, you'd be, shut the fuck up, Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, but see, they respect.
Shake my hand.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Shake
yeah.
my
Come
hand.
on, come on, people. They could have done that a little better. That was a
I
little-
even give him that.
I have other
Again, though, that's
problems.
like Punisher's like good at that type of shit. In
Yeah.
the comics.
Yeah.
But
know,
I have more
know.
problematic issues, like when the hospital. This is the man that just saved the mayor of
the
New
mayor
York.
of New York.
And-
Yeah.
And there's
No
no
guards.
police.
there's no police
presence
for-
around
no
that
police
for-
presence. Oh, the
There's
light.
no police
the lights
talking to
turned
him.
off. Everybody, get out of the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody talking. No police talking to Matt.
Matt fucking walking out of the hospital.
So
And it's the truth. No doctors. No one come run. Leave
Yeah.
the blind guy in the dock. He won't notice.
yeah.
You
It's
know.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's just weird
And
stuff.
one what?
leave the blind guy.
Leaving
the eyes.
Leaving just. Hold up. Hold the picture.
It's true though.
There was also something with Kirsten that kind of went under the table for me. Shutting down, I want to say.
There was something weird that she
Like,
was saying.
maybe like there was also a scene where she's looking at some paperwork. I couldn't tell what it was. Like maybe an
Yeah.
eviction notice or
something
something
like that. Like they weren't paying bills or
Yeah.
something.
'Cause They,
and
they were
nothing.
kind of teasing that for a while.
Yes.
I mean, the whole
Well, he went in to get
bank
along.
thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
true.
And she does say to him like, "There's something serious we got to talk about."
Yeah, and I think that's what it was.
so like
Uh-huh.
funny.
But that's been a theme since I guess episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Going in that they were having issues, and a lot of it she's saying you're never here, not taking clients, but all this all through the season.
But it's
too.
confusing because like they're
He killed Uncle Nick.
they're fucking doing this shit. Like there was a whole point about like how they're taking the ones for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me thinking now too. He took the bullet in his shoulder.
Yeah.
The bullet.
But that's a big caliber bullet.
Wait,
too.
the bullet either went through him
And it didn't kill.
because he got sprayed with his blood,
Yes.
Yeah.
with Matt's blood. So it had to have some kind of exit
Exit wound. Yeah.
in the back. But yet, so technically, like the way bullets really work is you leave a small hole in the front and a big hole
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
back
yeah,
when
yeah.
it exits. So all we've seen is that little blood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When he was back at the
Yeah,
apartment,
yeah,
he just
yeah.
always had this little. And they never really show you what the fuck's going on in the back.
Well, we did know that his ass was hanging out.
Yeah, wow.
That was a very funny scene, I
That
thought,
was.
when Frank was like, "What are you gonna fight it with your ass out?" and then he's walking to the closet. He goes like this.
Yeah.
Look, their chemistry and the way that they write their
They're
dialogue
perfect.
is
I
fucking
know,
perfect.
I
It's
know.
amazing.
Even when Castle threw him the bullet. Oh, we found your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he know that was the insignia on it? He's wearing gloves. He was wearing his Daredevil
So you
gloves.
can't touch it. You're right.
So really, unless he's got that super technical.
Yeah. I don't know what the suit
Maybe
is.
he was just
I
guessing.
wouldn't put it past him. to
I
be
know,
honest.
but
Yeah.
it's just
It could have just been fucking context clues at that point.
yeah.
I don't know. We've seen Matt's powers like through his eyes a few times. Not even in this and Daredevil
Yeah, right,
movie.
right.
From what I can tell, he almost has like a sonar with his eyes where he can basically make up a map or a
Yeah.
layout of the
Right,
room and what's in
correct.
front of him. So I can
Yeah.
kind of understand why he can kind of know that this is the bullet that he's
Yeah,
looking at. I don't
I
know.
guess.
The whole like 1,000 Suns City on Fire thing is like it's a cool fucking thing to say, but it's just like the least accurate representation of Matt's powers.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just like not really how they work.
Mhm.
To be honest,
It's
with
not
you.
how like fucking science works either.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's more like you said, like sonar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
basically.
I mean, you can like
1,000 suns my ass.
there's, like,
some of it is
videos
like
online
heat signatures,
that
but
I
it's
think
not
about.
to that fucking extent where it's like, you know, you
I'm
can-
burning.
yeah.
It's an incredible power because, like, his ability to dodge
Yeah.
bullets or whatever
Or catch him.
comes from the fact that he can basically sense your the positioning of your gun or whatever. He's that good at it.
But it's like through touch, smell, and
The
sound,
senses,
not
yeah.
so much just like heat signatures. He's not like a fucking one of the predators.
Right,
It's
right.
like-
There is something though where like he loses the radar power and like he only has like super hearing and shit. I don't know, it's weird, but like there's a distinction where they're separate powers.
God gave you back your hearing just so you could hear me. That's from season 3.
would have been nice if they would have given him a little extra healing power.
Yeah. Well, he did walk out of the hospital like.
Rating on the whole show.
Yeah, maybe get into some more whole show chat.
I don't know. I feel like we kind of just ripped it apart the entire time. Like I don't know.
I
There's
will
nothing
say,
big.
if you watch episodes 1, 8, and 9, it's
Yeah.
kind of like a 6.5 to a 7.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would agree with that 100%.
The whole show, it's tough to rate. It's such a mixed bag, really, and it's such a fucking mess.
And so much of it just dragged along. It was a mess. There was untied
I'd probably just
sections.
give
It's
it a
just-
5. Like,
I was honestly thinking a solid 5 or 6.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know if I
I'll
can
give it
go
like a
higher
4.
or
I can't
lower
even,
than a
yeah.
5.
I'm like, it has to be below a 4 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
It's got to be a 5.
I was going to give him a 6 for the entire season,
Mhm.
but I want to give him an 8 on the ending of it with what I hope is good potential for season 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sucks that they made us go through 7 episodes, basically. The first one was okay, but so the 6 after that, before they actually came back to giving us some
I
good
just
writing.
hope that they play it to the extent that it is. Like, street level New York can never be the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Street level here, like this section of Marvel cannot just go back to like, oh, okay, the friendly neighborhood type of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
there's a fucking huge dictator in charge, and you're in a martial law state.
Yeah. And how do they keep, again, they keep making the city real small. But again, how do you keep outside forces?
Kill the CEO of Sony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like it's a city.
Yeah.
How do you keep the state out of it if this is actually going on in the city?
Yeah, it has to be broadcast.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not like they just
You
shut
know,
off from the rest of the
You
world.
have state
feel like
police,
maybe you
You have to
National
write
Guard.
in the
Yeah.
fact that maybe the president is on board with it.
I'd be happy if like somehow like they are putting out more money somehow.
Well,
And that's
again,
Well, also,
That like I'd be fine with some sort of explanation like
who
that.
is the current president? Because you're actually wrong in what you
Well,
said.
no. I'm just saying like the vice president of fucking Ross. Like I don't think he's gonna be an
Yeah.
insane guy.
Yeah, but it's not Ritson,
Yeah, I know.
which
Yeah.
I thought was what you meant originally. But
Yeah.
it is, I guess, whoever the vice president of
I'm not even
Ross.
going federal. I'm just going state,
Yeah. That's
hierarchy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a governor.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that.
well, he's been mayor for a
And-
year.
About a year now. Not
If
even
it's
a
gonna
year.
be the type of thing where it's like you could chop it up to Fisk just strong arms everybody, show me that. That's all.
Yeah.
Just show me
Yeah.
that.
And
Show me how powerful he is.
I'm going to give them a little leeway because all these events are happening within 3 days
Mhm.
or 4 days. What I'm saying?
Yeah.
It hasn't been martial law for a year. It hasn't been the vigilante
yeah,
task force
vigilante.
for a year
Yeah.
killing people. So I hate to say it, but we know what can happen
And a short
to
amount of
establish things in a short amount of time when all it is chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think once the dust settles, it's not like he's not going to have a problem with the state or the army or whatever. I think maybe we're just going to see the part before everybody else gets involved.
I hope that the next Spider-Man movie deals directly with this stuff, and I hope that we introduce Norman Osborn and make him a big player. in
Yes,
this
that would
situation.
be great.
Yeah.
I also hope Thunderbolts ties in with this at some point, just because there's clearly something politically tied to the MCU with Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Bucky's on.
Bucky's on Congress. It takes place in New York.
He's got to. It's got to be connected.
Whatever Dreyfus's character's name
It's
is,
gotta-
is
it's
some
gotta be
higher up in the
connected.
government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what they could do is just have it so the billionaires, like the people in the room that were like talking to Kingpin,
Yeah.
like they could just somehow vouch for him and like that's it.
Could work because he was like one-on-one interviewing all those people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, are you with me or
Yeah.
you're not?
Well, that one lady, like her husband's just gone,
Yep.
so yeah.
I just got to lay it out that the parallels to reality are just
Insane.
incredible with this show. Just
Yeah, I mean,
incredible.
like overall with this show, I've said I started watching the Netflix show again. It's like literally the first 15 minutes of that show is better than anything the MCU's ever done in like every filmmaking aspect, really.
Yeah.
And just down to the writing, it's the whole Union Allied shit is like
Yeah.
it's fucking incredible how well that's written. Like the Kingpin stuff is so in the background until like they want to show you it.
Right.
This show it's too on the nose when it wants to be mysterious, and it's not landing that type of stuff for me. Like again, there's no tension.
Do you think we'll ever see Wilson Fisk speaking Chinese again?
Madame Gao.
I think season 2 is trending in the right direction.
I'm
100%.
The setup for it is looking good.
I'm still on board with the whole thing because I am hopeful to see where Benson and Moorhead go directionally with a clean slate.
Yeah.
They have the whole thing to just do it their way now.
Paint whatever the hell
Clean
they want.
canvas, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that just to finish it all off with this whole entire season personally, it felt like I was watching or reading a different comic book about Daredevil every episode.
Yeah, it does feel like
it was
a different writer.
It was
from
the
episode to episode,
Victor
for sure.
Ayala fucking situation. That was one comic book. Then it was the Task Force, one comic book. Then it was Muse, one comic book, and then it's this. It felt all over the place in all, if I had to say. But
I agree. Yeah, it's a good point.
they tied it up nicely.
I still don't understand the whole Muse thing, what that had to do with anything, why it was even still in here.
It's just a
Because
mistake.
Just to
it
make
went
Heather sad,
nowhere.
baby.
It just
It went
went
nowhere.
and it was a great character that could have done something, but it went nowhere.
If season, like I've said it before, if season 1 was 18 episodes and Benson and Moorhead directed the whole thing from the start, you can have the first 9 episodes be almost like a mini finale to the whole Muse thing, and then you can get into the Punisher and Fisk stuff.
Muse to me is almost like the whole French scene in that stupid Superman movie that we saw that just brought it to so you can get the point of the doctor saying that all vigilantes are basically the same and they're all psychos.
Yeah.
Made the whole plot just so she could have something else to compare to other people with the mask.
Now you got me thinking the ending was a little weak. That fucking bar scene could have been a whole lot
Well,
better.
I mean,
Could have been a
With
whole lot
Jessica
better.
Jones or Luke Cage or
Yes,
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that it like.
I got so excited when I saw that silhouette.
Because
how
they're
you
fucking
gonna
army.
say, we're gonna build an army, and then it's Cherry
And
then
fucking
and
Kim.
that
and the bartender.
And
I got the
fucking-
McLennans.
And three
Yeah.
cops. Yeah.
it's a shame. It's
And you're right. The dialogue was fucking beautiful.
it's so great.
but the scene
yeah.
itself was lacking.
Yeah.
I think
even the idea.
I didn't really like that it was like an inner monologue type thing.
I didn't mind that.
I actually
liked it
thought he
because-
was talking to
but-
the people in the bar.
But you
'cause
needed
you could
to
kinda
introduce
say
the right
it's either
people.
one, you know.
If it was the same monologue, walking through and seeing the defenders there and the whole bit, that
Or
would have been a
somebody
whole,
or something.
Exactly, that would have been
Even
a whole.
if you showed those people in the
Yeah.
bar and then like those other scenes where it's like resist, rebel, instead of like Punisher in a cage and
Yeah.
fucking Bullseye in his new apartment with broken glass.
Yeah.
You're showing Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Oh, maybe they're married now. Maybe
Something.
like
Even
something's
if-
going on. Their house
Even
is
if
raided.
the bartender would have said there was a woman in here left you this card, Jessica Jones's
Yeah.
private investigator card.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
need any help, call or whatever.
Just give us like an Easter egg,
something.
you know.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
this is the issue with live action: is who knows who's signed a contract yet? Who
Yeah.
knows
Yep.
all that shit? It's hard to get people to film at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That was our review of Daredevil: Born Again finale, as well as the whole season.
Yes.
Yeah,
Still
let us
hopeful
know.
for season 2.
Yep.
Let us know what you guys thought about Daredevil: Born Again. Happy Easter if you celebrate.
Enjoy.
Next time on Cape Critiquers, Fantastic Four, 2000.
Both of them. 5
both
and
of
8.
them. 2000, both of them. 2005 and 8.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.